Hello, good day, everybody. Welcome to SafetyG TV. Okay, today I will discuss about hand and power tool safety. Okay, based on my experience. Okay, by the way, before I will start, my name is Jeremy. Okay, I am a safety professional for almost 12 years, working in various types of industry, construction, wastewater, petrochemical, and oil and gas process. And now I'm working in a process safety. Okay. Now, to share this PowerPoint presentation is very important, guys. Okay, to share what is the importance of hand and power tool safety, okay, and how to take care our hand and power tool safety. If you are new safety, okay, taking or viewing this video, okay, maybe you can get an idea and what's the importance of how to take care and what is the strategy to encourage your teammate to perform the hand and power tool safety in the right manner. Okay, let's start now. Okay, next slides. Okay, hand and power tool safety. Okay, as we see in the picture below, share that there are types of work activity using the hand and power tools. Okay, that's why it's very important that you must understand hand tools and power tools by its category. Okay? Next tool. Okay, now, the purpose of this training presentation is to obtain the class objectives, okay, describes the general guidelines for hand and power tool safety. Okay. 2. Describes the important hand and power tools basics. 3. Describe the correct step for the proper tool maintenance and handling. Identify personal protective equipment for using hand and power tools. Describe safety procedure for point of operation safety. Describe general guidelines for proper hand tool safety. Describe general guidelines for proper electric tool safety. Describe general guidelines for proper abrasive wheel tool safety. Describe general guidelines for proper pneumatic tools safety. Describe general guidelines for proper fuel and hydraulic tools safety. Describe ergonomic in relation to the tools. Okay? Next slide. Just a pack of occupational safety. Okay. Just a pack. Occupational health and safety. Okay. Administration stated that most injuries of construction site the site involves evacuation cave-ins, power tools accident, falls and fall at heights, electrical hazards, and exposure to potential dangerous materials. Okay. Working within power tools, okay, you can get an electric shock, loss of finger, loss of an eye, or go deaf. It's special dangerous to use the tools that defective, that been modified, or that not designed for the job. Of course, you can also get injured if you use any tools carelessly. Okay, that's why, guys, this is the fact. That's why we must understand why we should take care our hand tools. Okay. Next slide. Okay. Regulations and guidelines for hand and power tools. Okay. For the general industry, okay, based on 1980 subpart PH hand and power tools, portable power tools, and other handheld equipment. Number 2 is the 1910 241 definition. Okay, 1910 242 hand and power and portable powered tools and equipment, general. 1910, 243 guarding and portable powered tools. 1910, 244 or other portable tools and equipment. By the way, guys, to share you what is this code, you can see this, guys, in the 29 CFR OSHA standard based on the standard, okay, regulatory number. This is the 29 CFR based on the CFR. You can see these guidelines, guys, in OSHA. Okay. Next topic. We will discuss regarding on this topic in the other training slide. Okay. Next, what what regulations say about the hand tools? Okay. Each employer, okay, based on OSHA, okay, based on OSHA, each employer shall be responsible for the safe condition of tools and equipment used by employees. Number two, this include tools and equipment which may be furnished by employees. That's why this is our responsibility, guys. If we are a safety specialist or safety officer, we must understand this, okay, very carefully, okay, especially because this is a strategy you can implement. If somebody asks or somebody, one of your supervisor ask you, you can share about this general guidelines, okay? Then, what the regulation says about hand tools, okay? Regulation says that employers shall not issue, okay? Take note, guys. Take note on this. Shall not issue or permit the use of unsafe hand tools, okay? Number two, wrenches including adjustable pipes and end and socket wrenches shall not be used with jaws or sprung to the point that splint occurs. That's okay, I will explain further on this one. And impact tools such as grip pins, winch, and chisels shall keep it free from mushroom heads. We shall see this one, guys, following slides, okay? And the wooden handle of the tool shall be kept free of any splinters or straps and shall be kept tight in the tools. That's why, take note, guys, is very, very important, okay? Using this is one of the factors, guys, that can have accident can occur. This is what we call risk factor. Okay, next. You can see in this slide presentation, the hazard, okay? Not attending, okay? The proper protection of his eyes, okay? And using abrasive wheels, okay? Now, workers using hand and power tools may be exposed to this hazard. Yes, it's very common, guys. Anywhere you can see, especially during the grinding activity, without proper assistance and guidance of health and safety, this is the factor that can be leads to the workplace. Okay? Objectives that fall, fly, are abrasive or splash. That's why you see the sparks. You see in the picture, sparks is anywhere. Okay? Harmful dust, fumes, mist, vapor, and gases. Fried or damage electrical cords, hazardous connections, and improper grounding. Vibration and impact. Slide. What do you think are the most common injuries of working with hand power tools? It's a good question, guys. Okay? If you are a safety officer on site, you must understand this one. It's the strategy. Okay? You must define what tools they are working. Based on early morning inspection, you must understand before they will withdraw the tools from the warehouse. Okay, based here in our Saudi Aramco. Previously, I'm working in Saudi Aramco, or even now in my workplace. Okay, as I manage, we have what we call a checklist that ensuring all the hand and power tools from warehouse must be checked by a certified electrician or technician to ensure that the tools, the power tools that they withdraw, the tools that they withdraw must be in a good condition. Because we cannot define if a certain employee or operatives or a worker withdraw it from the warehouse without correcting the issue or defining the risk there, then he leaves no choice, okay? Then you give him the chance to have an accident, okay? This is what we call inactive. But you are a proactive, okay? The strategy there is make sure that during the time that they withdraw from the warehouse, the employee must check the equipment and tools must be color coded if your company or the safety policy has the color coding of any hand tools and equipment to ensure that this was been properly checked and assist, okay, to ensure that it is safe to use and it's a good to use, okay, as a best practice, okay. Next slide, okay. Electric shock, it is most common factors: electric shock, splash burns, falling, hand and eye injury, hearing loss, crushing, cut, or losing of body parts. It's a major accident, guys. And ergonomic injuries. Now, basic tools, safety rules. So I take note on this, guys. It's very important. As I have said previously, okay, guys, we can understand the very basic tools that we must need to be understand. If you are a safety officer, safety practitioner, or a safety inspector, you must understand these basic tools, safety rules. Okay. Number one, maintain regularly. Okay. So I told you, all the equipment withdrawn from the warehouse must be properly checked, assessed, color coded, and must be repaired or maintained regularly. Okay. And number two, inspect before use. That's why that part from the very beginning that you withdraw from the very beginning, you must check the cords, if using power tools, hand tools, check the condition. Okay, it's part of the assessment, guys. Okay, use the right tools for the job. Okay. Operate according to the manufacturer's instruction. Use the right personal protective PPA or PPA and using guards. Okay, guys, this is very special and very important rules that you must understand while using your hand and power tools. Okay, next slide. Okay, as mentioned earlier, okay, hand tools hazard. Take note on this, guys. We shown the sample that commonly being noticed in workplace. Okay, number one, okay, hazard are usually caused by misuse and improper maintenance. So I correct. See, as you see the mallet here, the ball peen hammer, there's a crack on the on the wooden handle. See, if you see like this, guys, before you withdraw it or before using it, try to check. And if there is a damaged part, return it back to the warehouse and try to replace it with a new one. Okay, to ensure that because this one, guys, sample number one, if you are working at the top or working at height, then you will use this ball peen hammer will fill out from the hammer, and it will cause falling hazard and it can cause harm to your working environment. Okay. Next is this is very common actually. While I'm working in the project base in Aramco that last time, okay, Saudi Aramco in Jubail, This is the common issue in the chisel, especially in civil. This equipment used in the civil works, especially chipping the slugs, the slug, the concrete slug. Okay, this will be turned on. Okay, do not use. Okay, wrenches when jaws are sprung. The wrench guys that has damage sprung jaws. Okay, impact tools, chisel, and with this, see, this is a mushroom head type. You can see in this picture. This is a common issue, guys, in the construction site. Okay, that's why you know what's the cause of this one. Most of if you will hammer it, the hammer will slide on this and goes to your hand. You have no gloves, then it is the cause of accident. Okay, pitch point. Okay, when heads have mushroom, this is what we call mushroom heads. Okay, tools with loose, crack, or splintered handle. Okay. A screwdriver as a chisel, tools with tape handle, they may be hiding the cracks. That's why usually we do assessment, guys. If you are safety in site, some employee will put some tape. So that's why this is not good best practice, guys, in hand tools, because you cannot determine if the condition of the tools is good or bad. That's why if there is a warehouse and they will return it, then we will advise the warehouse in charge to check thoroughly. Okay, remove the tapes and except the tape that for color coding. Okay, next slide. Cutting and slicing tools. Okay, example: knives, box cutter, scissor, razor, blades. Okay. Okay, this is a common sample, guys, and you must use safety gloves, okay, protection against accident, cuts, and vibration. That's why, guys, the purpose why we, as a safety practitioner or a worker, why you are using, because sometimes we understand, okay, that during our assessment, some employees not using, or workers not using gloves, especially during the jackhammer, during the cutting. They are not using gloves because there is no proper guidance. Okay, make sure that the purpose of the gloves, you must tell them to communicate them by means of toolbox talk, trainings, and also, guys, encouraging them to use it, because mostly accident happen in the workplace, guys, is in relates with hands. Okay, pinch point, finger cut. This is commonly accident, guys. That's why to protect it, it's stated here that to protect against the accident cuts and vibration. The cost factor is a sharp blades is safer. When dull, a blade can slip from the object being cut and cause serious injury, especially electrician, guys. I have worked previously, and I myself witnessed, during cable splicing, we are doing high voltage termination. The technician, guys, did not aware and did not use gloves during the cutting of the cable, slicing the cable and split and cut his forehand thoroughly. That's why we must understand always, because some people, they are not being aware about what the accident may lead, even how experienced they are, because most common practice in workplace is, no, I am experienced enough. I am working with this work for almost like these years. But guys, if you are a proactive safety, you must even they will not comply. You must try to convince him that he will use it, because remember, guys, one mistake, one accident guys, you cannot turn it back to the normal. Okay? And be a proactive always if you are a safety. Okay? Second, second is cut, okay, downward. Okay? Always away from your hand. That's why there's a procedure, guys. If you're cutting a cable or right, do not cut here. Cut going there. Okay? Cut away from your body. Always free away from the body. And put it back. Never leave the cutting tools lying on the table, chair, sink, or desk. Okay? There are only three places that cutting tools should ever be in use, stored safely in a drawer, toolbox, and cracks or in the dishwasher. Okay, lay it down. And next is dishwasher and blades down on handle up. Okay, for the knives. Okay, this is the sample, guys. Okay, never put knives. Take note. Okay, see as you see in the picture here. Okay. Never put knives, okay, in an opposite direction. Okay. And next is cutting and slicing. This is what I have been, guys. Okay. Let it go. Never attempt to catch a drop knife or another cutting tools. Let it fall. Okay. Wipe away from the sharp edge. Wipe away from the sharp edge. If you need to wipe or clean materials off the blade, always wipe away from the sharp edge. Okay. Next is never touch the sharp edge. Always use a piece of paper to test the sharpness of the knives. Never use your fingers. And next is never use knives as substitute for other tools such as a screwdriver or a bottle opener. Okay? Take note on this, guys, because this can cause you harm. Okay? Next slide. Tools, hand tools protection. Okay. Number one, keep floor surface where working free from debris, tripping, and slipping hazards. That's why most common, guys, in the construction needs to be aware of this, because this is the cause of factor that can lead to accident, especially in the access. Okay, keep cutting tools sharps. Use tools as they were intended to be used. So I take note, guys, that if you have range, okay, sometimes they will do it as a hammer. So that's the improper way to use, guys. Okay, use the personal protective equipment, PPE, such as safe glasses and gloves. Okay, and the last one is PPE determined, okay, by job hazard analysis or GHA. Okay, what type of work, and what type of hand tools must be used. Okay, and how to protect. Okay, it's part of the GHA. GHA, guys, is job hazard analysis. Okay, next is example of PPE. Okay, we will see here presented here based on OSHA, Office of Training Education. Sample 1, guys, is body parts and protection. For eye protection needs safety glasses and goggles. Okay, but take note, guys. Okay, there are standards of goggles and PPE must be obtained. Okay, if you are working, guys, in an oil and gas company, there's a required standard to follow that regulatory. If you are working in construction, you must follow the regular or the standard work based on the local and international best practice. If you are working in laboratory, a chemical company, you must follow the standard always, okay, based on the work required, especially based on MSDS. And each and every activity, guys, has its own what we call personal protective assessment. Okay, that's why this is only to define or determine what protective equipment you will use. For eyes, safety glasses and goggles. Face, guys, is to provide face shields. Head, to provide head hard hat or safety helmet. Feet is for safety shoes and safety skull guards. And hand and arms, gloves. Bodies, vest, safety vest. And hearing, guys, is earplugs and earmuffs. Okay, but there are many types of PPE. Okay, as I have told you that it depends upon the type of activity requires a special PPE. Okay, next slide. Now, as we see in the sample shown illustrated in, does PPE helps? Okay, that's why remember, guys. Okay, PPE must be properly assessed before we will give it to our team. Okay. We will thoroughly check it's inappropriate based on the GHA that they apply, job safety hazard analysis. Okay. Sample, a trash bag. Okay. A trash bag that hills. Okay. Carpet containers. Okay. Reported without warning. Okay. And can explode. Can exploded. And a mixture of paint, thinner, paint sprayed all over the field's face. See? Because the person or the painter did not use the proper face protection during the painting. So, supposed to be he has a full face mask with respirator. Okay? To protect his body will apron. But see, during the time that the paint explode, okay, the paint spill on his face and on his mask. That's why this is very, very poor safety behavior. Okay. Next is while applying sending with an air powered staple. See, power staple gun. Sun fired staple hitting the metal plate. See, you see, notice that behind the siding, it shifted back towards the face, one leg staples, it held safety glasses lens, and staples hit first the force that frame of the crack soon receive the brushing of the eyebrow of the cheekbone. Okay? You will see this as it hit by a pneumatic air powered one sitting staple gun. Okay, it's the cause, guys, the result. Next is PP standard. Okay, various OSHA standard list the specific requirements. Okay, number 2, for various types of level of PPA, as I mentioned previously, logging standard, electrical standards, hazard noise standards, respiratory protection standards, and chemical and specific standard. Okay, because if you are dealing chemical, guys, there are many types of chemicals. Okay, it's a variety of chemicals that needs to have a different also protection, especially respirators. Okay, now personal protective equipment, personal responsibilities. Okay, take note this one, guys. It's very important, this one. Take note. Employer to employee. Number 1, employer, assist workplace for hazard. 2, provide PPE. 3, determine when to use. Provide PPE training for employees and instruction for proper use. Okay. Employee, your obligation, use PPE in accordance with the training. Receive and other instruction. 2, inspect daily and maintained in a clean and reliable condition. This is your responsibility, guys. The responsibility of the employer, okay, and the responsibility of the employee. Next slide. Okay, now, we go now to the power tools. Okay, now, this, guys, is most common major accident in workplace causing this kind of equipment, power tools, because they generate or they run. Because as I mentioned previously, there's a hand tools and power tools. Hand tools, guys, assist us non-major or non-fatal cause of accident. But for power tools, guys, take note. Out of 100% assessment ratio, actually, guys, 45% of fatality factored from hand power tools. Okay, if you are not work it a safely manner. Okay, now power tools must be fitted with guards and safety switches. Take note on this one, guys. We will explain further on this one. Safety switches, take note, and also the guard. Okay. Strictly hazardous when used. Hazardous when used improperly. Okay, we will explain this one. Different types of determined by their power sources. Okay, and factor, guys, of different types of determined by power sources: electric, pneumatic, liquid, fuel, hydraulic, and power actuated. That's why you must understand that there's an energy force on this one. And the factor of power is electricity, pneumatic, liquid fuel, hydraulic, and powder actuated. Okay? General safety guidelines on power tools. Okay. Take note on this one, guys. Be aware of all power lines, okay, and electrical circuit, water pipe, and other mechanical hazard in your work area, particularly those below the work surface hidden from the operator view that may be contacted. Wear proper apparel, and do not wear loose clothing, dangling object, and jewelry. And long hair must be restrained. Gloves should not be worn when operating certain power tools. Okay, there's a type of gloves, guys. Take note on this one. Check appropriate tools manual. Okay, now we will explain this further about the power lines, electric circuit, water pipe, and the other mechanical hazard. Take note on this one. This will be elaborated more in the next slides. Okay, now see here you can see the spark resistance. Okay, that's why if you are working in oil and gas, okay, take note on this, guys. Most interview come from this question. Okay, spark resistant tools. Okay? You must understand because most common failure of interview from this question. Okay, the type of tools, how they made it, the type of tools, how they keep. It's very important, guys. Okay, around flammable substance. Okay, around flammable substance, sparks produces by iron and steel. Hand tools can be dangerous ignition source where this hazard exists. Spark resistant tools made from brass. Okay, take note, guys, ha? Spark resistant tools is made up of brass, plastic, aluminum, and wood will be provided for safety. Take note, guys. The three factor: brass, plastic, aluminum, and wood. Because common interview in oil and gas, guys, is this one. What type of spark-resistant tools must be obtained on site. And common safety, if you have no experience on oil and gas, and you must take note on this. Okay? Next, non-spark or spark resistance or spark proof tools are named given the tools made of metals such as brass, bronze, monel metal, copper, nickel, alloy, copper aluminum alloy, aluminum bronze, copper, okay, beryllium alloy, beryllium bronze, and titanium. Okay, that's why there's special tools, guys, that was being required. Prepared and non-spark metals have less tensile strengthened than steels usually used to make tools. A lower tensile strength means that the metal has less strength or resistance to tearing apart when stretched under the test condition. That's why the purpose of this one, guys, is non-spark. It's the major point of this one, non-sparking hand tools. It's required, guys, in the oil and gas. Okay. Now, it also means that these tools are softer. We're down more quickly, okay, than the ordinary steel tools, and have to be dressed more frequently. That's why in oil and gas, guys, before start the work, before you will enter the facility, all tools, permission, assessment, and clearance will be checked. Especially you are in the oil and gas field area. But in construction site, you are not required on this type of tools, but to ensure that you have a good hand tools, you must also check, okay, before using it. You must check the hand tools, guys, before using it. You must assess whether the condition of the hand tools is good or bad, to ensure that one factor, no delay of work. Number two, you make your work safe. Number three, you will stress-free. And number four, you can do your job quickly because there is no any type of distraction on your activity. Okay, take note, guys, this is strategy. Okay, now, we shall proceed. Power tools, precautions, electric cord. Okay. This is one of the common issue in workplace, especially construction site. Our electrical cords. Okay, don't carry portable tools by the cord. Okay? This is misuse, guys. Misuse means if you are a safety in the site, you notice, don't act like a police. Okay, this is the best approach. Just approach the employee, ask him, okay, or make a sample, get the hand tools, and just all make him a sample that you must fold the cord like this and hold it like this, because sometimes, guys, you know, this is what horse playing. Horse playing means they are working, but they are playing, okay, enjoying playing, or some, you know, to help to relieve their stress. But this is a behavior approach, guys, that sometimes misuse is the factor of behavior. They are horse playing, or somebody not saw them, or this is a factor of human behavior, guys. That's why if we are a safety specialist or safety officer, one of our strategy and approach is the behavior of our working environment. Okay, we will have a next topic on that one. Okay, don't use electric cord to hoist or lower the tools. Don't yank cords or hose to disconnect it. Then keep cords and hoses away from heat, oil, and sharp edges. Replace damaged cords immediately. That's why this one best practice, guys, that you must understand. Next, Now, here we can see the sample of electrical outlet, okay? Cable outlet, okay? Will you use this extension cord? Okay, now, in oil and gas or in any types of construction, guys, if you see this kind of cords, especially structural activity, to remind guys, structural activity, what type of work there? Sometimes, guys, structural activity, they are using impact uh, machine, or hand tool machine. And most common electrocution, guys, especially on electrochemical or mechanical work is installation of post or channels. Okay? Now, if they are using damaged outlet like this, the open exposed electric live connection will hit to the steel chassis, channels, or handrails. It can cause fatality, guys. Take note. That's why if you are a smart safety, if you are working in construction site, you must thoroughly assess the cable connections, the panel connections. It must have a proper safety protections outlet, JMCI outlet. We will tackle this one in more in electrical safety. Okay, we shall continue. Okay, now electrical power tools. Okay, take note. Protection, protect our workers from shock. Okay, those tools must have a three-wire connection. Means three, three-wire connection. Okay, here in Middle East, guys, we always use three-wire connections. Okay, it's our standard cable requirement. Okay, three-wire connection. Line one, line two on the ground. Okay, ground receptacles. Okay, be double insulated or be powered by low voltage insulation transformer. Okay, now see, double insulated. There is a mark in the equipment, in the hand tools, especially drill machine, grind, especially power grinder. Okay, big this. There is a double insulated mark labeled in the below on their handguard and plug with grounding pin. See, this is a sample. Okay. Now, and also, you will notice when using the double insulated, there is a instruction in the manual. Okay. Take note on this one, guys. If you are new to this one, take note how to inspect. Okay. Especially you are working in abroad in GCC country, is common inspection approach. Okay. You must have an idea on this. Okay? Next is electric tools. Good practice. Okay. Now, see, you can see here the portable wooden cutting machine. Okay. Cutting wooden saw, or what you call the abrasive wheel unit. Okay. Operate within design limit. Okay. Sometimes, guys, this is also my experience. Okay. Some abrasive wheel, they are using, for example, take note on this one, guys. Abrasive wheel means grinder, power grinders. Okay? They remove guards while using it. No, that is not good practice, guys, because any mistake upon the ratio of that abrasive wheel, it can cause fatality. Remember, guys, as I mentioned previously, most of the hand tools, especially electric powered hand tools, can cause devastation, guys, or major fatality on site. Okay, so I take note. That's why before you join in a certain workplace or certain work condition, the health and safety department will conduct safety induction to ensure that new employee, especially you are first time in abroad, you are working in same, like, the company, or based on OSHA standard, the company provides you a proper training in order to have an idea on what type of risk, type of hazard you are encountering. And one of the risks is this one, guys, the electrical tools. Okay? Even you are very expert with where country you came from, but this is the SOP, operation procedure of the safety, to assist you if you are first joining in a certain workplace, because you are apple of our eyes. That's our term previously. Late Engineer Bilayo from Muhammad Al-Bujil Group, the apple of the eyes. Okay. Now, Michelle Fardo. Okay. Use gloves and safety shoes. Store in a dry place. Don't use it wet location unless approved for that. Use JFCI. Guys, take note on this one, guys. Most safety officer failed on the interview. Only this question, guys. You must be familiar on it. Use GFCI. Okay? Ground fault circuit interceptor. Okay? Same as automatic switch relay. That if he can sense the minimum level of amperes, he will trip off. The unit will trip off and not anymore be used. Protect you guys from devastating electrocution. Okay? Keep work area will let and ensure cord don't present a tripping hazard. That's why most common issue is one, guys, in construction site, that most cable cords are ringling around. Okay? Cable management, guys. Cable management. Okay? Next, liquid fuel tools. Okay, now I think most not only a minimum, okay, liquid fuel tools have available, especially on special work only, special activity only. Use gas powered, main hazard fuel vapor, carbon monoxide, okay, hazard. Use only approved flammable liquid containers. Before refilling fuel powered tools, tank, shut down the engine and allow it to cool and refuel it at least combustible materials. Okay, guys, the liquid fuel tools, guys, I will share you something, and I have a very good experience about it. You know, guys, way back 2017, okay, one of our site here in Saudi Arabia, okay, we are using liquid fuel tools. Now, types of liquid fuel tools, guys, is I will give you generator, water pumps, this one, suction pumps, dewatering pumps. Now, one of our facility, take note, one of our facility, there is a new employee joined. Now, this employee wants to refueling, okay, and the activity is refueling our pump upside the NBR unit. Okay. Now, this is one of the investigation that I conducted during the accident case. Our safety advise the person or the employee that you must switch off first the equipment, the running power pump. But the new employee, guys, did not follow the instruction, and there is no supervision, no foreman there. Now, I don't know, maybe he's in a hurry, he just refuel it. Remember, guys, the ignition source is there already. The spark means the spark plug igniting. Now, after he put fuel in the equipment, it's still running. The spark plug connection catch the flammable fumes of the time that they are refueling, and it causes fire and causes devastating accident, guys. You know, all NBR unit was fired up because you know the jockey tank or he's not using the jockey tank. That's the problem. He also using the plastic, containers for water containers, ready to refill, and there's no panel, and it caused major fire. And all the MBR unit, and it cost million, guys, million. Only that mistake, we asked the employee during the investigation, and one answer that we received from him, I don't know that it will lead to a major accident, catastrophe. That's why, take note, guys, on the liquid fuel tools. Okay, next. Now, fatal facts. Okay? Employee killed when stroke struck in head by a nail fired from the powder. This one also, guys, actuated tools. Okay, and tools operator was attempting to anchor plywood form in the preparation for pouring the concrete wall. Okay, guys, take note. So, guys, these power actuated tools, guys, here in Saudi Arabia, guys, we are not only special condition that we allowing this kind of devices. Only in mechanical we are using it, but for civil works we are not giving this as approval. Regarding that, the risk is very high. If the certain person did not have a proper train, and he will cause problem or fatal injury in our site. That's why we are. For me, I will check what type of tools, and if it is using the power applicator, it's only depend upon the assessment that we are using it. But based on my past experience, I allow only power actuated equipment or tools is on the mechanical, in the channel, because putting bolt in the channel sometimes, needs to have this one, and also the heavy wall work, concrete heavy wall type concrete we allow, but for the other type of activity, no, we are not giving him approval. That's why most of the power operating equipment here is only in the warehouse. Okay, next, powdered actuated tools, safety tips. Okay, take note on this one, guys, as I have mentioned. Don't use an explosive or flammable atmosphere. Okay, inspect tools before use to ensure that it is clean, that moving parts operate freely, the barrel is free from obstruction and has proper shielding guards or attachment. Okay, because this power activated gas is same as a gun. You will put a powder, explosive powder, then after you trigger it, then it will strike nail or any type of screw with the use of force, massive force, same as a bullet. That's why if we will use this actuated equipment, guys, it's only barely or not in a certain open condition. Okay. Next is, don't load the tools unless using it immediately. Okay, take note on this one, guys. Don't leave a loaded tool unattended. Keep hands clear from the barrel end. Never point the tool at anyone. Store unloaded in a locked box. That's why this is one of the risks, obtaining the power actuated equipment is needs to be assisted properly, because same as a gun. You will put a powder, you can trigger it, and you can you can cause problem or major accident in your workplace. Okay, let's continue. Now, reporting accident injuries. Okay, now, this is the factor, guys. First priority is the receive prompt medical attention or call 911 or any emergency hotline number based on your country required. Okay, in Abu Dhabi, there are different emergency hotline number. In Saudi Arabia, there are emergency hotline number. But it is in line with your emergency action plan, guys. Take note. Okay? You cannot call directly because there is what we call emergency team and preparedness. There should be a proper protocol to channel who are the one executing the call, okay, for medical attention. Okay, take note on this one, guys. Uh, Here in Gulf country, okay, only the person in charge, manager, medical team, first aider, safety manager, are have or available or intended this task to call, okay, because there is what we call is a protocol based on the emergency action plan, okay, followed by the safety department and also the operation department or the construction department and the project department. Okay, there's a protocol on this one. Report all work-related accident, injuries, and illness to your supervisors and safety officer or safety officer. Make an investigation and do the root cause accident and incident regardless of severity. Because guys, if severity, guys, totally your workplace will be shut down. 1 week investigation by government, one investigation together with the management. Okay, and proper paperwork to be filled out, incident reporting and workers compensation. By the way, guys, I will share to you the accident investigation. Okay, now only a little accident. Take note, guys. Accident investigation is developed only to track down the cause of accident, not to blame people. Okay, because sometimes, guys, as I have noticed based on my experience, if there is a certain accident investigation or investigation on site, people are afraid to talk. Now, the important there, guys, is the people or the involved party must be there to share the correct information, the correct fact, to have the proper root cause analysis and to develop control measures ensuring that this kind of event, accident, it will not repeated in the same scenario. Okay, we will accept that there is a gaps, but this is not a nature or a behavior that we will point fingers to other. Okay, take note. It's the best practice that everybody will be involved. Do not blame. Blaming culture, guys, is not effective if you are promoting your safety culture. Okay, take note. You must treat your co-workers, management, as your brothers and your as your family. You know, because for better or for worse, you are working there until the project is end. Okay, take note. Shall proceed. Okay, hospitalization must be reported immediately to environmental health and safety and CSHR, okay? And no later than 8 hours from time accident. That's why this is what I mentioned that if you have an emergency response team, this must be properly assist and also provide direct action. Okay. Next, summary. Okay. Hazards are usually the result of improper tool use and follow one or more of these protection techniques. Okay. Technique number 1, inspecting the tools before use. That's why I mentioned earlier, before I start, that the very effective approach or the best practice is before the employee receive the tools, the warehouse must properly check it, assist it to ensure that the hand tools must be safe to use. Okay? Next, red tools, red tool owner's manual, and prior to use. Okay? And using PPE, protective equipment, use guards properly, proper storing and maintaining the tools, and keep the workplace net and free from clutter, and using the safe handling techniques. Okay? Next is this one, guys, is musculoskeletal injury or occupational diseases is preventable. Take note of this one, guys. Thank you, guys. I hope that I share you some of strategies and approach regarding on this training topic, and I hope that it can help you if you are a new safety officer, if you are a supervisor. I hope my training, and there's more training more and share to you. Okay, just only subscribe to my channel, and I will share some upcoming videos in my channel. Okay, thank you and have a nice day, guys.